You guys, welcome back to my channel. We are here again for another story time for my bedroom. You guys, you can't see my bed today because it's late. I'm not making that bed up, you guys. So it's story time from the bedroom, but you don't see the bed, you see the window. Let's go ahead and get the video started, you guys. But before we get started, once again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hi to all my new subbies that came in. Go ahead and click the bell for notifications so you'll be the first one to know when we drop a video. And also go ahead and give the video a thumbs up after you have watched the video. And also I love comments, you guys. So before I get started, let me give a little shout out to my hairdresser here, y'all. To Shea Hill of Adorn Beauty, ADOR_N_beauty. Go ahead and check out her YouTube. She did a fabulous job on my hair and also on my grandbaby's hair. So I'm going to put a picture up after this video of how she slayed my grandbaby hair, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to the Cougar experience part 3. Okay, so remember... We done been in a high-speed chase, y'all. So me and the guy, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the Cougar Experience 1, check out part 2, and then you'll catch up on part 3. So after that, he dropped me off or whatever. I got in my car. I went home. I'm heated. I'm mad. I ended up blocking him. And so what he ended up doing was calling me from his job phone, pleading and begging or whatever. And, I'm sorry, this, and this. It don't have to be like this. I ain't going to do that no more, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, look, I don't have time for that. So it was about another week after that, y'all, and I finally went on and broke. Didn't nobody die. One thing about this crazy nutball, he was like totally not marriage material or nothing like that. But if you wanted to have some fun, he was a cool dude. He was a cool dude or whatever. So whatever, y'all. I was back again. But this time I'm driving, period. So what we did was, it was coming up on his birthday. His birthday was in July. Now, mind you, remember in the other video, I told you he had a criminal record that was 1 page long. Click the button, 2 pages long. It was just long. So I think for like his whole adult life, off and on in, moments, he was locked up. He did do one bid that was kind of long or what, anytime is long, but it was like maybe 3-4 years or something like that. So come to find out, he had never been out of town. Who hasn't been out of Cincinnati? He had never, ever been out of town. I take that back. He went to Kentucky, which you cross a bridge. But he had never traveled. Now, me, I done traveled to all kinds of places, y'all. Couple of international, a whole lot of in-state or whatever. My goal is, there's 51 states. My goal is to visit all 51, and I think I'm on 29, only because some states I done been to about 2 or 3 times. Okay, so he had never traveled. So I'm like, do you want to take like a little road trip or whatever for your birthday? We can go up there, have us a little dinner or whatever. And, I can, find out what little club is around there or whatever. Now, mind you, y'all, I ain't been to the club since Club Baja back before I started going to church in 96. So here I am on some other stuff, feeling a certain type of way after my divorce. It was what it was. And ended up in the club. Now, how you going to be suggesting the club and you don't even know what the club is about right about now? Okay. So he was like, yeah. So we end up going to Indianapolis. That was just a short little ride up there. I know my way around Indianapolis because for a period when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I lived with my grandmother for about 7 months or so. So I knew Indianapolis streets and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, we'll do that. So y'all, I told him what time I was going to come pick him up. We was just going to do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it was, yeah, like a little weekend or whatever. So he was like, okay then. And I was like, all right, then fine. I said, I'm going to be there at such and such time to pick you up. Y'all, I go to pick him up. Now, mind you, I got luggage. I travel, I got luggage, I got my passport, I got all that little old stuff. So you know how you buy the luggage kit, and sometimes it had like a duffel bag, and it had like 2 other, it'd be a big suitcase and a medium-sized suitcase. So I was like, all right, it's just a little 3 days or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and get the medium suitcase. So I take the little medium suitcase with me. It didn't fill it up all the way because I wasn't toting a whole bunch of different stuff. So go to pick him up and I, park the car or whatever, go upstairs. Hey, you ready to go? What you got? Child, let me put this on pause because I got to show y'all what he came out with. Y'all, this fool come out with 2 Kroger bags. Child, let me tell you something. 2 Kroger bags. Honey, I can't make this up. I could make this up, but why make it up when it's God's on truth? He came out with 2 Kroger bags with his clothes rolled up. I said, what? Child, took everything in me not to cuss. Like, what the ham and cheese? Kroger bags? I said, where's your luggage? I don't got no luggage. What? I said, do you got a duffel bag, a book bag? No. Boy, we is not traveling and going to check in no hotel with no Kroger. And they weren't even like the fresh Kroger bags. You know how you take some empty Kroger bags and put it inside your Kroger bag because you want some extra? It was the balled up kind, y'all. I said, bruh, no, we don't do that. I said, take everything out that Kroger bag. I said, my God, we got to have a one-on-one class for traveling. I said, take that mess out that Kroger bag. So he took the stuff out the Kroger bag. I said, fold your stuff up. You could put it in my suit because there's still a little bit of room or whatever. Lord have mercy. The boy now we were going out to eat for his birthday. So we were going to go to the melting pot. And the melting pot is like a, mid-level type, it ain't fine dining, but you wear like a little nice shirt and some little slacks or whatever. He done took his dress shirt, y'all, balled it up with his dress pants, and all of it's balled up in the back. I said, bro, this is not how we do. I said, get the iron that shirt back out, iron them pants out, and hang it up on the hanger. We can hang that in the back of the car, with a little thing come down over the window. He's like, oh, yeah, right. I guess if you ain't traveled, you ain't know you can hang your clothes up in the back of the car. Just about every vehicle has a hook in the back. So we finally get backed up, y'all. I said, good Lord. Kroger back. All I heard was crumple. All I heard was, we don't crumple through the lobby of the hotel, y'all. I said, he ain't know, but ooh, if you don't know, now you know. You're going to learn today, like Kevin Hart said. So we finally got, I just couldn't believe it. Y'all, so we driving up there, y'all, right? So, when you go from Cincinnati to Indianapolis, there's really nothing to look at. It's just boring. You'll see a stupid cow, a couple of dumb horses running around this cornfield or whatever. He looking out the window like this. Dang, they got cows out here. Bruh, you ain't never seen a real cow. I guess when you been locked up, he ain't been to the zoo. And he definitely ain't been to no petting zoo because old girl snatched him up when he was 14. So he done missed all the field trips at school and everything. He was hanging out the window, honey, like we were on a real nice excursion. Like, I done seen in traveling some beautiful landscaping and, things to look at, but some trips are just boring. Riding from here, Cincinnati to Indianapolis is boring. There's nothing to look at. He was excited about the cows. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if this fool think we can go over there and get free meal for your cereal, I'm going to turn this car back around and take your rusty tail out. So he was just looking out the window like a kid, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is, oh Lord. So we finally get to the hotel or whatever. And that day we end up going to the melting pot. So we go to the melting pot and you got to cook your little food and cook your little potatoes and all that. And the melting pot, let me tell you something. Don't be charging folks money to cook their own food. If I want to cook my own food, I could have stayed at home, cook my own food. I pay y'all to cook my food. And that food wasn't even all that seasoned. So that was the last time I ever went to the melting pot. But we had a nice time. He was like, this is real nice. I'm like, okay. He had a good old time. So we go back to the hotel. Now, mind you, he all about drama. It's always something going on at one time. So he don't know how to just relax. I guess when you done been in jail and stuff like that, you don't relax. It's not a relaxing atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I did my little stint, my little couple of hours in jails, and it wasn't a relaxing atmosphere, y'all. So he don't know how to just sit down and chill and relax. Okay. So what we end up doing was that night after we came from dinner, I said, let's just chill out here. And they got a nice little pool out here. Let's get us some little drinks or whatever and go and sit out by the pool. So we go sit out by the pool. And he was just astonished, like, this is real nice and chill. It's like, yeah, you can actually sit down and have a good time without some drama kicking up or trying to find some drama or trying to make moves and bust moves or whatever he was out there doing. So we just sat back and kicked it that day. Next day we get up, go to breakfast, and then so I end up calling my brother. Let me rewind that. I end up calling my brother JoJo. Mind you, I told JoJo he was a DJ, so he knew all the hot spots. So we called JoJo, and I was like, JoJo, I'm up here or whatever with a friend of mine, and I want to know a good hotel. I mean, not a good hotel, but a good club. And then I told him where we were, what location we were. And I don't know what the name of this club was, but he told me what the name of the club was. So the next day we got up, went to the mall, just, hopped and skipped around the little mall or whatever, bought a couple of items, got some breakfast. So we decided to go to the club. So y'all, here I am, honey, fabulous. So I don't know what he had. He had on some jeans, the nice, like a polo. No. I think he dressed up because the club, when we called it, they said you can't wear no street clothes. But it was a whole different story when you got in there and found out folks had street clothes on. So let me go back. So I wore a dress. It was like a mini skirt. And so it was like sequin at the bottom and it was like sheer whatever at the top. And then I had like these blue shoes on that had silver in it that matched the silver that was at the bottom of the dress, honey. Had my hair real big, baby. You couldn't tell me nothing. And I had not been out since Club Baja. So I had years of stomping and dancing and percolating. I don't think the percolator was out there, but to make up, okay? Pastor Monica went around then. So... we go to the club. We find a parking spot. We go to the club. So when we get in the club, when he started looking around, he instantly got an attitude because other people had on jeans. They weren't even dressed dressed up or whatever. So he was pissed about that because he wanted to wear, this Cincinnati shirt to represent that he was from Cincinnati, yada, yada, yada. And he kept going on and on and on about, I could have worn my Cincinnati shirt. I could have worn my Cincinnati shirt. Dude, calm all that down. So we in there, the ones that's dressed up the most outside of everybody else. So all of a sudden, we look like we ain't never been there before, which we hadn't. So when we went into the club, we got in there, we found us a little spot by the bar. So it was 3 girls, y'all, that was like, here's me standing, and there's 3 girls like a little small way away from us, and they instantly spot me, and I'm like, okay, I ain't paying no attention. I'm talking to him. He leaned on the bar. I'm talking to him. We just all into each other. So they end up coming closer to us, and one of the girls put her back on my back. Now, I didn't know what that meant, y'all. Help me out for y'all, those that know what that meant. And I'm like, okay, so she had her back on my back, and I'm like, I'm looking around the club because now I'm confused because it's a nice crowd in here, but it ain't crowded where we got to be like sardines packed on top of each other. So I'm trying to figure, why is your back on my back? And then so I just scoot up just a little bit, and I'm still talking to him. So she scoots back and presses her back on my back. So the first thing I'm thinking, is this heifer trying to challenge me? Like, girl, I did not come here to fight, but y'all already know how I get down. We can go ahead and do this. And old dude crazy, he'll probably sock a girl like he would sock a girl. Because I done seen him go ham on his baby mama. Listen. So I pushed back on her. So we pushing each other. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, we ain't even been here 5 minutes and you trying to challenge me? Like, sus. Now, this girl was young. So I'm like, what the frick, girl? Bye. So by this time, I'm pushing back on her. And then after a while, she just got on here and she scoops on back. I said, okay, then they playing games in here. So I'm like, all right then, whatever. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you ain't even supposed to be here, girl. So I said, let's get a drink. So he turned around to get a drink. And so he asked the woman, and the bartender lady, can I get like, I don't know what it was that he ordered. She was like, we ain't got that. So he was like, all right, then, well, let me have da-da-da-da-da. Oh, we ain't got that. So by this time, he leaning forward. He was like, let me get a da-da-da-da-da. We ain't got that. Next thing you know, he said, well, B, what do you got? I said, oh my God. Yeah, mind you. Remember I said the night before we had a few little drinks. So we had like a little bottle or whatever, you know, a little wine and bottle. Well, he had his liquor. I had my little wine or whatever at the hotel. So we had sipped a little before we had even went there. You know how you want to get there already, you know, feeling good or whatever. Then you ain't got to buy that many drinks on the inside. So he already was here anyways. And then when he got to the club, he found out that he couldn't, that he was overdressed. So he was mad about that too. So then she done denied him 3 different drinks that he can't get. By that time, he's talking about, B, what do you get? She was like, who you talking to? He was like, I'm talking to you. I'm from Cincinnati. I said, oh my God. He gonna announce he from Cincinnati because he wanted to wear the Cincinnati shirt. Everybody know we out of town because I'm up in here with a sequin dress up looking like